Well, the pitch here looking in very, very good condition. It's got undersoil heating, which is not a great deal of value here. It's got sand and mesh based, and it's going to play well, but the indications are, according to the referee from the police, that the weather is going to get worse in the course of this game. We'll have to wait and see, but there's likely to be an onslaught heading towards Bobby Mims' goal. There's Simon Garner, and there is Scott Sellers, the two players brought in after long-term groin injuries to try and put some pep into this Blackburn side, who've won only one of their last 10 games. And away we go, the start of the FA Cup campaign for two clubs whose names figure boldly in the history of the competition, but the main talking point at Ewood, certainly more practical affairs, the introduction of number 11, Scott Sellers, and of number 10, Simon Garner, with a new goalkeeper, Bobby Mims, at the back. Liverpool, of course, have an amazing record in this competition, and they very much have the evil eye over Blackburn, however far you go back. Free kick there. Howard Gale, former Liverpool player, played 4 games for them in the number 7 shirt that was Kenny Dalglish's at the time. Free kick early on for Liverpool, with Gillespie inevitably going up. Hussein is coming up into that penalty area, and a swirling wind bringing it in towards Bobby Mims. It's a difficult one. Rush, a man with a target, but not an immediate target, of overhauling Dennis Law's 41 cup goals. He's the leading FA Cup scorer with 32. He's some way off that, but no doubt we should see him in more striking positions than just this one. So Mims with his first goal kick against a swirling wind. Sellers. So Sellers is going to play on the left-hand side as normal, but of course completely lacking in real match fitness. He said one game in the reserves only, and that not a complete game this season. It's asking a lot at any level, let alone playing against Liverpool. So some distinguished names in this Blackburn lineup. Frank Stapleton up front with Garner, of course, but Moran at the back, Duxbury's in there, and so too is Nicky Reid. Have all got terrific FA Cup records, but Liverpool can beat the lot. So Atkins is wearing 2 but playing at left back, and Duxbury is wearing 3 and playing at right back. Just to sort that little formation out. Duxbury, former Manchester United player, of course, but very much from this part of the world. Almost impossible for the players to judge where that ball is going to drop, because the wind will pick it up and swirl it away. So Duxbury, 14 years with Manchester United, still trying really to get a regular place in the Blackburn side. Howard Gale, back to Moran, who's playing at the back alongside David May, a young 20-year-old, the one with the fair hair. Gillespie gets up there, Garner can't quite get there, Miller comes in hard, forward by Gillespie again, there's Rosenthal, but Bobby Mims is there. Such a torrid time Mims had at Spurs, completely destroyed his confidence. He's had a regular loan periods. He's had, in fact, 10 clubs, Mims, but he's coming back to Blackburn for the 2nd time. Garner trying to get it wide to Sellers. May out there with Rosenthal. Rush coming to the ball. Rush holding it up well. McMahon gets into the middle and trying to get it wide to Barnes. He wasn't far off it. This is Howard Gale breaking forward for Nicky Reid, the captain, in for John Miller. We've got Sellers over the left-hand side, Garner, and here's Stapleton holding up again. Miller Rovers. Forces Nicol to put it out. Encouraging move by Blackburn Rovers, who've had terrible troubles at home in the last few months. Rosenthal holds it up. May gets a foot to it and bangs it away. It's an important win for the young defender. Howard Gale getting it forward, away by Hussein. And Duxbury picks up. Duxbury will be so anxious to make an impression here. Good ball into Garner. Looking for Stapleton. And away by Gillespie. Picked up by Houghton. Rosenthal comes to make an angle for him. Rush now makes the run forward. Back to Staunton. Barnes is wide on the left. This is Burrows looking for the long one for Rosenthal. He's beautifully picked out. Too much space for Rosenthal. He can set it back to Houghton. Houghton crosses. Rush gets in. Bobby Mims played 6 games for Blackburn 4 seasons ago as an on-loan deal where he impressed Don McKay very much. Useful kick against the wind. Miller. There's a foul there by Barrows. Free kick. So Gale, Garner, Stapleton with Sellers wide on the left, if they can get the ball forward. Moran's kick is held up by the wind. Gale gets up with Burrows. Staunton couldn't get it. Well won by Reed, powerful challenge. Now Moran. Stapleton coming across. Knocked out by Gary Gillespie. Stapleton's been this way before. 5 Wembley Cup final medals, 3 winners, 2 losers, so he knows what the FA Cup's all about. And this fellow, Dave May's got a long throw. Stapleton moves in on this one, up he goes, and Garner's onto it, and Miller hits it wide. John Miller, a Scot, busy player in midfield, but not renowned for getting shots on target and scoring goals. Well, there's a nice idea of the long throw, but as it fell to him on the left foot, which is his better foot, well wide. Flicked on by Staunton, picked up here by Nicol. Quickly inside to Houghton, is not quite good enough, and a diving tackle in there. Well, they're sweeping forward now, but the referee's whistle has gone for a free kick. Blackburn drop back. Everybody behind the ball, except perhaps Staunton, and a name into the book already, John Miller. So referee Michael Peck, the deputy headmaster, making his mark very early on. There's the free kick. Gale gets up. Staunton puts it wide beautifully to Barnes. His first touch, really. Put in by Staunton. Defensively, they haven't been too impressive, Blackburn, in the last few months. With a very unsettled side. 26 players Blackburn have used this season, simply because of an enormous injury list. Now Barnes, with a lot of Liverpool players pushing up to support him, but Blackburn closing it down well in midfield. Sellers tries to get to this. It's away by Nicol. Hooked on by McMahon, away goes Rosenthal. Rosenthal in with a chance of the first one. A brilliant opening, a lovely pass through the middle. Nobody had picked Rosenthal up. He's got the pace, 2 or 3 strides to get away, and one-on-one, he beats Mims, but beats the post too. Well, good ball forward. Nobody marking him. He's May's man and he's well off him. Rosenthal has time to consider it, and in normal circumstances you'd expect him to score, but Mims did well to narrow the angle. So a miss for Rosenthal with his tremendous goal-scoring record. Stapleton going again. Stapleton in there once more. Garner can't quite get there, and back it comes. Closed down there by Stapleton, and that holds it up for a bit. 10 minutes gone, that's certainly been the best opportunity so far. Hussein looking for a ball in midfield, which was a very optimistic effort, and Reed gets it forward. Back by Hussein again. Miller can't get there. Atkins can, though. May, the long one forward. Atkins is still going down the left-hand side. Atkins with the throw. Atkins going again, and this is a good move. Atkins getting down to the line almost. Good first-time play. This is a player who normally is at right back, has played in a variety of positions, as most Blackburn players have to, but really he looked very interesting there in an attacking left-hand side. Good ball. Was he offside? No, said the linesman, but it was too quick for him. Moran couldn't get it away clean. He rushed turns, but it's Moran again. Nickel in there quickly. Garner with Hussein, no threat. Kenny Dalglish in his traditional standing role. In the history of cup tie between these two in 78-79, he scored the winner. But he won't be too happy about the way that was given away. And this is a difficult one for Grobbelaar. As Barnes is put away on the left-hand side. Reed tries to hold him up. In for Rush. Looking for Rosenthal. And well cleared up by Mick Duxbury. It's the sort of effort he needs to encourage him. It's amazing that somebody who's played so long for Manchester United should find it difficult to settle into the second division, but he has. Rosenthal chases this in vain. Garner turns well, nice play to Gale, but Burrows is onto him fast and Reed does well. Indeed, he's fouled by Staunton. Quick run and rebound to Stapleton. They're pushing forward, but Liverpool are coming back in numbers. This is Gale. Good play by the former Liverpool player. Picked up by Houghton. Barnes on the left. Has gone wide on the right. It's well cut out by Moran. Stapleton knocks it back to Gale. In for Reed. It's a hard one for Stapleton. He does well. Gets the throw in. No, he doesn't, because it must have gone off Stapleton's leg. Barnes. Houghton to Rosenthal. Barnes takes over. Rush is trying to make a darting run. He's offside. Moran's kick. Up goes Hussein. Forward comes Rosenthal. Duxbury gets there first. Atkins. Sellers. Still Atkins. Sellers takes over. Reed has gone through the middle. Not strong enough and appeals for handball, but just a slip and Reed can try a shot. Oh, and Grobbelaar was struggling. I don't think you can blame the wing for that, but Nicky Reed, the Blackburn captain, really tested him from well outside the area. He was stooping, but by no means conquering that one. is up on the near post. David May is in there too. And stubbed away by the foot of Burrows. Good move though by Blackburn, a terrific shot by Nicky Reed, and Liverpool didn't really look totally happy from that corner either. Sellers, Atkins, nice ball forward. Sellers coming again, looking for the return, and Gale turning it into the path of Reed, but a little bit too strong. They're looking good here though, Duxbury to Sellers, who's moved into the middle. It's interesting that Sellers is already taking control. He, for instance, criticised Duxbury there. It wasn't the other way around. Barnes knocking it neatly to Staunton. Well cut out by Duxbury. Forward goes Garner. It's a good ball. Stapleton's in the middle. Off Hussein's leg. Still Garner. He might get a decent cross in. Grobbelaar gets up. And Stapleton. Sellers misses it. What on earth is going on there in the Liverpool defence? Grobbelaar is making Christmas gifts all over the place. Stapleton should really have had it. It looked like a harmless cross from the right-hand side. And now it all comes to nothing at the far end. Tremendous stuff by Blackburn, and Liverpool at the back are looking decidedly jittery. And Bruce Grobbelaar has done some amazing things already. And we've had only 15 minutes of the game. Well, certainly a strange incident there when Garner crossed and Stapleton couldn't get the rebound. What Grobbelaar was up to, I suppose we've got to blame the wind in these circumstances. Not for that infringement, but for Grobbelaar's errors. So Moran with the kick. David May, the central defender's gone up there. Howard Gale over the far side. Stapleton gets up, Gale's in there, and away by Gillespie. Reed trying to get it down the left-hand side and fails. Well, Reed's had one good shot. Stapleton really should have scored when Grobbelaar made a mess of that one a couple of minutes ago. But Blackburn, the side who are 19th in the second division, who can't do anything right just recently, the last home win was on November the 10th against Sheffield Wednesday, are looking good here. Barnes with Duxbury, Reed, and Reed is looking one of the stronger players in midfield here certainly, and that's against considerable opposition. Gets a free kick there. 5-1 joint favourites, Liverpool, at the start of this campaign. You have to go way, way down the bookmakers list to find Blackburn. Burrows wins that one. McMahon, not a particularly good clearance in the circumstances. Duxbury wide to Garner. Now then, Reed's cross. Can Stapleton get this? And away by Gillespie. Barnes does well. Houghton forward to McMahon. This is dangerous with Rosenthal trying to make a break, but Moran is onto it. It's an optimistic ball, but a good one for Garner. Sellers, Stapleton. Sellers keeps going down the left. Playing some great football, Blackburn Rovers. Can they get by here against Nicol? Knocks it back into midfield, rather dangerously so. Houghton to Rush, May behind him. Into Gillespie. Now a bit of space out here for Burrows, with Barnes making a run down the left-hand side. Barnes in the middle too. Rosenthal comes across here well. Well marked. That's Atkins getting in the way, but not very successfully. Straight to Staunton. May, and a difficult ball to pick up. Staunton again. Staunton keeps going forward. This is Rosenthal. And offside. Blackburn did well to keep their discipline at the back there. but Rosenthal and Rush are making a lot of interesting diagonal runs. It's going to be a very difficult duo to keep hold of. It's a fine ball from Staunton, but the referee has blown up for a foul. Staunton doing a very good imitation of Ronnie Whelan there, with that quick control and long pass. Hussein with a kick, trying to find Barnes. McMahon knocks it back to Burrows. McMahon goes into a striking position in the middle. Difficult one to get away as Liverpool put the squeeze on them, but back to Bobby Mims. Rush to chase. A good tackle by young David May. Good recovery though by Rush. Chased by Houghton against Atkins. Closes the back door, but chooses to go alone. Not a bad ball. Hussein knocks it out, and that'll do for Blackburn. The conditions are difficult. It's pointless, I suppose, keep emphasising the amount of wind blowing mostly from right to left, but also swirling around this stadium, but it makes judgment of long passes and control very, very precarious. And I think Bruce Grobbelaar has proved that point to us already a couple of times. Sellers getting it back to David May. Atkins got it forward to Sellers, but there was a sharp tackle and Houghton's coming back to help out. Given away there by John Miller. And now it's Steve McMahon with Burrows racing away down the left-hand side. Howard Gale's trying to track him. Barnes has gone into the middle, Rosenthal's there too. Burrows has done well, but the flag has gone for an infringement. So a special haircut for the occasion, but didn't really make him quite quick enough there. With Gillespie up over the far side, Rosenthal making a run towards the near post. This is a difficult one for the goalkeeper, and Gillespie's in there. Nobody really got a totally satisfactory strike at it. Gillespie again. Any set piece in this wind has got to be a problem for the defence. Difficult for everybody to judge. The wind hangs on to that one. John Miller trying to get it down the left-hand side to Scott Sellers, who's offside. By May. Staunton cut out by Duxbury, but forward goes McMahon and cut the forward thought out. Moran to his Irish colleague Frank Stapleton. Forward goes Simon Garner. Garner does well considering he's played so few games this season. Gale. The threatened challenge came in from Steve Staunton, and it didn't leave Nicky Reid much to do. Liverpool's throw. Nickel, and now McMahon. Wide there is Barnes. Duxbury trying to get to him, but inaccurate with the pass. difficult one to get away. Liverpool put the squeeze on them. It had gone out. So Liverpool win possession here. Slow progress, but they have had a really good chance, which fell to Rosenthal, but then so of Blackburn Rovers. In goes Atkins. Atkins going again. Houghton. Chased by Reed. Play on, says the referee. Rush trying to turn. Difficult cross, way over the top for Barnes. Duxbury's onto him. That'll do for the time being. Rosenthal coming to it. Howard Gale doing well there. Not renowned for his tackling, but that was a bit of a giveaway pass. Blackburn's tigerish play in midfield. Won it back. And John Miller does well to find Atkins with Sellers on his left. Wasn't a good ball, and Mays has to get in there fast. He's done so. It's out. Just a little bit optimistic as Blackburn break again, but they're certainly enjoying having Scott Sellers on that left-hand side and a little bit more experience up front with Simon Garner. May, a difficult one for him, does well. No foul there, according to the referee, although a few thousand Blackburn supporters thought there was. Rush trying to get it forward to Houghton. Oh, and it's gone straight to Rush again. Barnes in a good position. Looking for Houghton. Houghton gets forward, brushed off it. But dangerous play there by Blackburn, who gave the ball away on the edge of their own area, and Houghton was almost put in there by John Barnes. Well held up by Rosenthal. Gillespie and Burrows. Back it goes, safe enough. Grobbelaar's way out of his area. And with the help of the wind, it blows almost over the top. Good bit of play by McMahon. Finds John Barnes across to the far post. Beaten out by Moran. Gale getting a foot in there valuably. Burrows again. Nicky Reed. Frank Stapleton holds it up, but it's knocked away. Reed goes in there again powerfully. Just a bit unlucky. Otherwise, Blackburn would have been away on that left-hand side. Good, powerful play by the former Manchester City player. Had a decade at Main Road, playing in, of course, the '81 FA Cup final, the Ricky Villa Cup final, as it's known as. Here they come again. Sellers getting away well. Good run for somebody who hasn't played this season. Sellers does well, and so does Grobbelaar this time. Barnes quickly in possession. Rosenthal coming over to the left-hand side, Rush on the right. With Duxbury. Gale again coming back with effect. Staunton. Looking for Rush over the far side, but that was much too strong for him. There's no way that Nicol was going to get there either. But they are beginning to push more players forward, Liverpool, not just the isolated frontmen of Rosenthal and Ian Rush. Blackburn push up for Nichols' throw. Miller gets it. Reed stretches out a leg to get it too. But it's very tight in there, and Liverpool having a bit of a problem getting it away. Garner turning it well. Now Stapleton chases on the left-hand side. And Reed is in there very strongly. That's a very, very strong run by the Blackburn captain. He powered forward from way outside the penalty area after initially starting the move with a very, very good interception. It's a corner for Blackburn. Stapleton coming in on this one. And Reid gets to it, almost. McMahon beat him. Garner needs help, gets it from Reid behind him. Garner goes alone. Houghton chasing this one. This is Miller. It's not a bad ball. And Grobbelaar grabs it again. Good cross. Good bit of goalkeeping. He had to attack it, but Reid was very brave there. With half an hour of the game gone, Bobby Mims, thankfully, for Blackburn supporters, has been far less involved than the distinguished gentleman at the other end, Bruce Grobbelaar. Reid is in there powerfully once more. Back for Duxbury, he's closed down by Staunton. Certainly number 4, Nicky Reid, the Blackburn captain, has been the most effective player in a very difficult area on a blustery day. Moran, now May, a bit of a panic ball, but not terribly well cleared, and it's been picked up by Frank Stapleton. Garner's in here, Gale now. Reid gets forward, but he couldn't turn it before he was swooped on. In goes Duxbury, good one. Blackburn, Reid trying to get Miller forward. They're looking good, Blackburn in midfield, but now it's Houghton with support on the right and the left. Rosenthal is there. Rush has gone in the middle. Barnes is there too. Rosenthal does well. Barnes with a flick, and wide it goes. Off the defender, so a corner. Hussein coming up. Gillespie at the back of the area, but real problems with the wind blowing from right to left. Can Blackburn get it away? And Mims saves brilliantly. So Bobby Mims has repaid some of that 250,000 immediately with that sort of a save. An instinctive effort from that very, very powerful header. But still Liverpool press forward. Barnes against Duxbury. Well, Barnes has done it, and good recovery. Another corner. Well, here's how Mims saved the day. Flicked on, and then coming in over the far side was Rosenthal, a great save. Another deep one on, well controlled by Gale, but almost given away on the edge of the area indeed. Stapleton couldn't get it. This is tricky. May puts it out, doing exactly the right thing. Gale had done so well there, but then sold his side down the river by dwelling on it when he really should have booted it. And now it's another corner to Liverpool. In this wind, they're real problems. So Hussein then on the near post, rush in there for the flick with Barnes, Gillespie and Rosenthal coming around the back. Well, won by Atkins, and offside. The flag has gone up long before Rosenthal took his swipe at it. So he's had one effort past the post when perhaps he should have scored, and then another powerful header, which was beautifully saved by Bobby Mims, the 27-year-old Yorkshireman, who's obviously settling in quite quickly after his traumatic time at Spurs and a number of other clubs. So this is a strong period by Liverpool. Their best spell so far. Hard one for Garner, holds his man off and gets a throw-in off of Burrow's boot. Stapleton, Garner and Sellers, but if they can win it and knock it back outside the area, a long shot might do the trick. away by McMahon. One by Moran, and Sellers can't get there. McMahon to Rosenthal, played into Houghton. Beautiful ball, but too strong in the end for Barnes. Not quite coming off, and you can't really blame the wind for that. And Stapleton. And up and under for Garner to chase with Hussein. Knocked aside by McMahon to Houghton. A chase by Ronnie Rosenthal against May. The referee says corner. I don't know whether May was all that happy about that. But this is certainly a burst of action by Liverpool. And problems again possibly for Blackburn, with the swirling wind blowing them in towards Bobby Mims. Goalkeeper stays on his line. And well defended there, although Gillespie got a header. There was no real threat. A couple of goals this season. Well, how's he feeling about the way things have gone? I think he's anxious that his defence looked so vulnerable in the early phases of the game, but they've certainly picked up in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Duxbury far too long, Grobbelaar are under no pressure. Nicol to Houghton. Rush turns it well, tries to change it again towards Barnes, who hasn't had the best of service so far, but he's been well marked. Now it's McMahon in towards Rosenthal, free kick. Looked to be a little bit more space there for Liverpool to build up those quick passes. And the tackle certainly came in late. Now with the wind blowing from right to left, doing all sorts of tricks, does that mean somebody will have a direct go from here? It's a long way out, but the elements are unusual. Now it's McMahon. Difficult to tell from this angle. We're right at the back of the stand, whether McMahon's effort was close to that post, but it looked as if Bobby Mims got across there very well. Diverted past the wall so he can see the target. Well covered, I think. Now Miller. Sellers on the left. Garner up front. Over the top for Reed. Reed's getting in there. He makes some terrific runs through from the centre of midfield, Nicky Reed. Just an inch or two away from that one. Now Rosenthal with Moran. Rosenthal does well. Barnes in to Staunton, but Blackburn have won it back. And this is not the form of an ailing second division side. This is great play. This is Garner in with a chance. Garner going again, and this time Grobbelaar did save the day. The leading scorer for Blackburn Rovers over so many seasons, at a perfect opportunity, but I think a little bit of rustiness that they're in, and unfortunately Grobbelaar did a great job for Blackburn. As far as Blackburn are concerned, that was a very good opportunity that normally Simon Garner would put away. There's Grobbelaar again. Atkins gets in there. McMahon thumps it away, thankfully, and there's only Rosenthal to chase. So Grobbelaar's done one or two doubtful things, but one or two brilliant things, which is, I suppose, par for the course. Garner, a nice little touch, but Liverpool have picked it up. And we're 6 minutes away from the half-time break. Well, that could have been Simon Garner's first of the season. But it must be encouraging for Blackburn that they can create openings like this, but there's danger for them here. Referee getting out of the way. Houghton, 2 against 1. Oh, it's a good ball into McMahon and a good run too. McMahon with Houghton and Nicol up there supporting. So there's forward to Reed, who's all over the place. Garner couldn't quite get it. And Howard Gale comes in fast to make the back pass the only alternative. Difficult one for Atkins with the wind blowing it away from him. Oh, and May got a boot in there, all right. Now, McMahon with Barnes backing off on the left-hand side, trying to get space. But Blackburn marked tight and tackle hard. Howard Gale. Well, there's Blackburn players tumbling all over the place. Miller fell just before that, and I think he was tripped. Now this is a trip, and it is a yellow card for David Burrows. Well, first of all, Miller went down. Was that an accident? I don't know. He looked rather pointedly towards the referee, but that certainly wasn't an accident. And that's 1 each as far as the yellow cards are concerned, and a free kick for Blackburn, with a lot of players pushed up on the edge of the area. Moran is in there as well. Gillespie gets in there well. And a swinging boot from Frank Stapleton. Frank Stapleton, if you're a statistical type of person, he is just behind Ian Rush as far as the all-time FA Cup goal scorers are concerned, with 23. He's 34 years of age, says he's certainly going to play to the end of the season. They're not quite sure what he's going to do. And Barnes and Duxbury didn't get that, which was just as well for Blackburn. I think Barnes looked to be in a good position. So a throw to Blackburn. Liverpool squeeze up on them. 2 Liverpool substitutes warming up on the wide touchline here. Jan Mulby and Gary Ablett. Gale a flick on. Stapleton gets in there. Staunton. Well won by Moran. McMahon's the first one, though, to bring it down and use it well. Nicol through the middle to Rosenthal. Not totally good control, but very, very strong. Down to Sellers. Nice ball. Garner holds it up. Almost into trouble, but Sellers wriggles away. This is good play by Blackburn yet again. What a difference Sellers and Garner have made to the morale of the team as much as anything else. Now Stapleton back into Atkins, Gale, and Grobbelaar comes for it again. A little bit too strong from Howard Gale, but he's working hard up that right-hand side. It'll be so important to him to be on the winning side against his old club. Rush beautifully laid off to Barnes. Rush moves away to the far edge of the area, then comes back into a position. Barnes being held up by Duxbury. Barnes cross. This is Rush again, and he's beaten by Atkins. For the moment he is, anyhow. But it's a difficult pass out, and Sellers tangles rather violently there with Steve Nicol. Some 2 minutes to go, possibly less, in this first half, which has been full of good open play in difficult circumstances and good chances too. Stapleton holds it up. This is Sellers, and appeals that it had gone over the line. Upheld by the referee. It's a goal kick. Sellers, who Don Mackay, the Blackburn manager, feels is worth $1.5 million if and when he's fit at today's current inflated prices. So you can tell how important it is for Blackburn to get him back into the side. And there's the end of what has been a very entertaining and open first half. Blackburn Rovers, struggling in the second division, have given equally as good as they've got, although Ronnie Rosenthal had a couple of good chances. Simon Garner certainly had the best chance for Blackburn to put his side into the lead, but Grovelar came up trumps with a good save. So the half-time score here is Blackburn 0, Liverpool 0. After a certain amount of foot stamping, you join us again at Ewood Park. Glenn Hussein, the captain of Liverpool, no doubt saying that the tactics of this half, with the wind blowing against them, will have to be changed somewhat. But although Liverpool had a pretty useful spell in the latter stages of the first half, it was Blackburn really who coped with the conditions better, except when Liverpool had that spate of corners. Well, the pitch looks pretty good from this position. Good bit better than Blackburn's pitch at the beginning of their history, when they had to borrow an arena from Blackpool Grammar School. Unfortunately, it had a pond in the middle of it, so they had to put planks over the pond and then put sods of grass over the planks. And sometimes, because they got one or two things wrong, it would be possible to fall through the planks into the pond in midfield. They do say that that's why Blackburn don't play it through midfield very often these days traditionally, but I can't believe that's true at all. But back to the serious stuff. Blackburn have done so well in difficult circumstances, and none better than Simon Garner, who has tried to come back 2 or 3 times this season after a similar groin operation to Sellers, but hasn't quite made it. Now, away they go. So, Irish international Kevin Moran picking up Rosenthal again as the long ball is humped forward from Bobby Mims, and the Ewood Park supporters, in something like 16 to 17,000 of them, with Liverpool supporters to our right-hand side, will be hoping that the strong wind will give Blackburn an advantage. It doesn't always work that way, though. Now, David May is immediately racing over there to take this throw in. He has a very, very long throw for somebody who's only 20, and certainly probably won't be the top of his strength yet, but in it goes, and it's a good one, it's a goal! And it's Simon Garner. Garner, the man brought back as a gamble, has put Blackburn Rovers into the lead in the opening seconds of the second half, and that long throw from David May did the trick. Liverpool just couldn't cope with it. Flicked on, not really touched, but Garner showing why he's Blackburn Rovers' leading scorer of all time. A great throw, not good defending, a lovely strike from Garner. 1-0. Well, really is extraordinarily brave of manager Don Mackay to bring Garner and Sellers back into the side. If it had come unstuck, they could easily, of course, aggravate a rather serious groin situation, which has taken months to recover from, a series of operations and manipulations in hospital. If that went wrong, that might jeopardise their second division position. But now they're leading by 1-0. It's a different story. And nicely away by Howard Gale, who's immediately back in defence. And Liverpool now have a real battle. But if you want to mention a little bit of history, but Houghton getting this one in, and Mims gets it away, but the flag had gone up for offside. Good goalkeeping, but the linesman had come to his rescue over that far side. But everything he's doing at the moment, Bobby Mims, is proof that Don Mackay was right, in that this is a good goalkeeper, and he's had a wretched time, but bring him back, particularly to the north, and you'll see him at his best. Back to the history, and in the last time they played in the FA Cup, 1983, Garner gave Blackburn the lead, and Liverpool won by 2-1. Let's see whether history repeats itself. The Duxbury getting the ball forward. Garner again. Stapleton is in the middle if Gale can get past his man. He can't, but Liverpool are having to pull everyone back for the moment. Tom Mackay, the Blackburn manager, anxious, and indeed what he was saying is that May has got to take the throw again. No muck about. It proved very effective the last time, so let's do it again. David May, and well won this time by Gillespie. Back once again. Gale is onto it. Well, that's a good cross, and fortunately for Grobbelaar, nobody was able to deflect it. Sellers, Atkins, Stapleton trying to keep it in, does well. Miller, it's a good ball, playing it around well, and Liverpool are stretched. Rosenthal does well to get it to Barnes. Gets forward. Staunton. Nicol is going to overlap him, but it wasn't a well-timed pass. Deflected away for a Liverpool throw. Houghton. Sellers holds it up. Left foot into space, but it wasn't a particularly good one. But Garner robs Gillespie. Is full of enthusiasm now. And Gale is free over the right-hand side if he can switch it. Not quite the ideal ball because he's having to backtrack, and then there was a misunderstanding between him and Duxbury. So that came to nothing, and Dalglish's team led off the hook. That might have been a good opening. So Liverpool with only 3 defeats this season, trailing here against the second division side. Well won by Miller, but it's a foul. Competitive young Scot, banging into McMahon. Barnes, cut out nicely by Moran. Stapleton, there's only Garner in the middle. Houghton lays it off to Nicol, down the line to Ian Rush. May comes over to try and stop him. That's a good challenge by Kevin Moran, the Irish international. Rush protects it well. Nicol with Staunton getting into a striking position in the middle if they can find him. That's for Staunton. And cross comes Kevin Moran. Throwing to Liverpool. Rosenthal makes a little bit of room. Now then, Staunton with a cross. There's Mims and Barnes. And the referee is blown for an infringement. Blackburn let off the hook. Barnes felt he got the equaliser, but a push on Bobby Mims, says Mike Peck. And was he right or wrong? Well, Mims comes out, Rush goes in, and Barnes puts the rebound in. It looked a harsh decision, to be fair. But Blackburn grateful for it. But that will encourage Liverpool. Barnes can't get that one, and for the first time today, those passes just have been too strong for him. So it remains 1-0 to Blackburn Rovers. Staunton gets forward. Barnes over the left-hand side. Rosenthal's in the middle on the near post. Rush at the back. Barnes has done well. He's brought down. Is it a penalty? Appeals from the Liverpool players directed again at the referee. They're still at him. And no penalty, and all they're going to get is a measly throw over the left-hand side. So Barnes denied twice there. Now then, Hussein. Nicol. Full of urgency now, Liverpool. Hussein's pushed up over the far side. Rush to McMahon, challenged by Miller. Still Liverpool though, and there's problems here. as Houghton brings the ball towards a packed edge of the penalty area. But there's some aggro between individuals. This is a really sparky atmosphere at Ewood Park. Atkins, useful all down the line. Hussein, only one way to go. Picked on nicely by Rush to Rosenthal. Picked up by Rush again, but Moran gets a leg to it and it breaks down. Only once in the last 12 years have Liverpool been knocked out at the first hurdle in the FA Cup. That was in '87 by Liverpool, by Luton. Long way to go yet before it's going to happen here. Now, Atkins, Stapleton coming across the front of the box. Atkins going for the return again. It's gone out, I'm afraid. Just dallying a little bit because he prefers the right foot, normally playing at right back. Don't think he agrees with the linesman that it actually went out of play. Rush under pressure from 3 Blackburn players. But a push, according to the linesman. The referee supports him, and it's a free kick to Blackburn. Well, Moran has stayed back in defence, but young David May has gone up in the centre of the penalty area there. Stapleton obviously a main threat. May moving forward, now moving back. Stapleton gets up, and it's going to be chased by Garner. And Stapleton with a header that really should have been in. Grobbelaar looked as if he was going to come for that one, but didn't. It was a really good cross. Grobbelaar comes, then comes back again, he misses it, and Stapleton should really have buried that one. Could have been 2-0. And now it's Liverpool breaking down the left with John Barnes. Gale working really manfully in defensive role, but giving it away. Now Houghton, fast and furious this cup tie now. Barnes beating one man. Good cross. And Rosenthal claiming that it went off a Blackburn player. The referee said it didn't. It's a goal kick. Well, Mims was fortunate, so was Don Mackay, that they got away with that disallowed goal, but Frank Stapleton could easily have made it 2-0 to Blackburn. Barnes into McMahon. There goes Burrows on the left-hand side, but Barnes comes this way. Staunton and Houghton. Nicol here. Atkins gets at him. Cross comes Rosenthal. Nicol in for Rush. Can he turn? Barnes is there, but the turn was on, but the target wasn't there at all. And although it was a nimble bit of play by Ian Rush, he wasn't too near getting his 16th goal of the season. That one, so that's Liverpool's again. Burrows nicely into McMahon. McMahon skipping by one, but can't get by the others, and it's Sellers picking it up now. Atkins getting it forward, but not very constructively. Moment of relief for Blackburn as Liverpool certainly getting into gear after the shock of Simon Garner's goal. Rush didn't really get a touch, but it was almost McMahon who got onto it. Free kick. Tie-up needed for Atkins. Something's going to be needed for Liverpool. Young will be warming up on the wide touchline here as Atkins takes the kick. Gale comes across, out comes Gillespie. Barnes is there, but so too is Duxbury. That's well won, and so is that by David Burrows. Rosenthal gets down the middle. This is Barnes down the left. We've got Rush and Rosenthal in the middle, and well cut out. Kevin Moran in front of his man, but had that gone over his head, he'd have been in real trouble. Corner again to Liverpool, short one. Barnes driving it over, not deep enough. Houghton with him. Up goes Gillespie, and offside. We've got a pretty moderate view here as far as the job is concerned, except when it comes to the offside situations, because we're really level with this particular point here, and quite clearly Rush was offside and the linesman spotted it. Good on by Miller. Gale gets in there powerfully. Too much. Burrows the long ball forward. Rosenthal. Barnes is right the way back at the moment, not in the striking position at all. Corner again. The corner's thick and fast for Liverpool. Problems for Blackburn every time the ball is swirled over, but so far they've managed to keep them out. Gillespie and Hussein are in there. Barnes getting in on the near post for the flick on. It's a difficult one, but it's well away by Stapleton. And Howard Gale picks it up well. He's got support on the right-hand side. That's a foul. But away goes Nicky Reed. The referee has blown for a free kick and what will surely be a yellow card, I would have thought. At least. In these circumstances, the professional foul could be invoked here. Could be real problems for Staunton. And I think McMahon has just checked that it is only the yellow card. We'll see. Well, it was a bad challenge, and with Reed supporting on the right-hand side, it was a definite opening for Blackburn Rovers. You could hardly call it a goal-scoring opportunity back in their own half, but a yellow card well merited. Here's Houghton breaking on the right-hand side with Rosenthal up in front of him and Nicol to the right, but that's well won challenge by Scott Sellers. Beautifully done. And a good pass to Frank Stapleton. He's got Garner in the middle, but Stapleton's got to make an opening himself. Away by Gillespie. And a good ball down the middle for Rush. Rushes away and it bundles into Moran. Now what will the referee do this time? And the hand goes into the pocket. This was definitely an opportunity for him to strike on goal. This is Kevin Moran, the man who was sent off in the '85 Cup final, and I'm afraid he's sent off again. Kevin Moran has gone. A long ball forward from McMahon. Rush is away. He looks to be in a striking position. He's blocked certainly by Kevin Moran. But that I would have thought is a harsh decision, bearing in mind that he only gave the yellow card to Staunton a few seconds before. But Kevin Moran, whose FA Cup history is littered, I'm afraid, by being sent off on special occasions, it happens to him again. 34 years of age, what a tragedy for him and Blackburn. But not a popular decision by the Kendal referee, Michael Peck. particularly after the earlier incident where the yellow card was shown. Now it's Staunton and Burrows. Staunton on the ball, unless he knocks it far wide. Staunton with a drive, pass one, and well wide as he was attacked. But that isn't the point. The fact that they didn't get a strike on goal is of no real value. Staunton got a yellow card for a foul which stopped certainly a very promising move for Blackburn. And then Don Mackay sees his very, very experienced World Cup defender Kevin Moran sent off for the foul on Ian Rush. Now Barnes and Blackburn are really up against it. So another corner for Liverpool, who really must have their tails up as far as the morale is concerned, but trailing by 1-0. And back out by Nick Duxbury. So once again, problems for Blackburn. It's going to be picked up by McMahon, and a long shot is well wide. Well, in terms of corners, Liverpool well ahead, trailing by the 1 goal, but now it's 11 against 10. This is a question of more than character for Blackburn Rovers. Garner holding it up well. Does well. Gale. Well, I saw Blackburn Rovers play against Charlton on New Year's Day, and this was a totally different side. Different circumstances, very different atmosphere, and of course they've made 3 changes since then, but the quality of the play, the character they showed is of a very different calibre. Don Mackay said they've played very little good football this season. It's been a struggle. The wind is getting up, but with David May on the throw-in, this could be another rare opportunity for Blackburn to test Liverpool. Hamilton brings it away quite comfortably in the end. Nicol, Rosenthal running on the right, Rush through the middle. This is Rush here. Miller saw it well. Will do. Well, the reorganisation of the Blackburn side as Gale goes forward on a burst here, with the wind blowing the ball on rather faster than he wished. Hussein with a bit of room. Comes to Rush, it's a good clearance. Rosenthal against May, and Rosenthal's got real pace. Rosenthal bursting away, but Miller came across to cover well. Just one too many. The reorganisation of Blackburn at the back means that Atkins has gone into the middle to help control Rush and Rosenthal alongside David May, with Miller going to left back, Stapleton dropping into midfield. So that's what the referee's sending off decision has meant, a complete reorganisation of Blackburn Rovers side. And I would have thought most neutrals would say that this must give Liverpool a considerable advantage. But plenty of 10-man sides play better than 11 men. But Blackburn have been doing pretty well before that. Nice touch. Houghton, Rosenthal, and good cover by Atkins, the stand-in central defender. Room though for Nicol, perhaps too much room. And now Houghton. And Miller wins it. It's a good ball forward to Simon Garner. He needs to hold it up to get support Forward goes Reed through the middle. A powerful run. He was defending a second ago, and he forces Gillespie into a throw in, but Gillespie gets a knock at the same time. What a strong bit of play by Nicky Reed. Very much a fitness fanatic. He's 30 years of age now, but they reckon as quick and as strong as ever he was. Miller turns it back. Gale was really on his own over there. Oh, dear me. It looked a rash decision. The referee, though, has said there was no foul, despite the fact that Gale went headlong, and it's Liverpool in possession. Barnes. McMahon has gone wide on the left, but they're working so hard, but giving it away, and players like Sellers will sure to be very, very tired quite soon. Lacking in match practice completely. Steve Nicol. McMahon has gone into the penalty area, but can't control it. Good run and a good pass, but the marking was also up to scratch as well. Gillespie and Burrows are not under pressure at all. They're playing with only one man up front, Simon Garner. Sellers dropping back here. Gets away neatly. Gets a return. He's got Gale on the right-hand side. Tries to get one through the middle. And away goes Garner. He's brought down, is he? He looks as if he's down in a similar position. Garner was getting away, and he's gone. Surely. Garner was getting away into a striking position, and Hussein tripped him, and he has gone. And that's a definite foul there. It got past him. And first duty now is to make sure who is the captain, because it's 10 against 10 now, as the Swedish international Glenn Hussein is sent off for the foul on Simon Garner. What an extraordinary cut tie this is. And it's a free kick too to Blackburn, which could mean something. Unfortunately, nothing. Well, extraordinary circumstances here, and we're about to have a substitution for Liverpool. Hussein seemed to have got the ball, then Garner got it off him, away went, and he tripped him. And the referee had really no alternative, having sent Kevin Moran off. Scott Sellers, a tired kick that was at Stapleton. Barnes forward for Burrows, well stopped by Atkins. And Garner's onto this one, he's all on his own. And the throw-in is Liverpool's. First goal of the season against Liverpool, then involved in that incident where Hussein was sent off, as Liverpool make a substitution. The Dane Jan Molby to come on. So it's the strength of Molby in midfield, with Staunton coming off and Burrows staying in the same position on the left-hand side, and McMahon now playing farther up front, by the look of it anyhow. Houghton, Rush knocking it forward for Rosenthal. He wants support from behind him. It's not coming yet. As John Miller tries to get the challenge in, and David May goes in hard and concedes a corner. It's a little bit rash by the 20-year-old. A little bit more savvy. I think he could have won a goal kick there quite comfortably. And now, with Gillespie pushing up, Molby slowly making his way forward. Gillespie beaten by Gale. Back headed towards Scott Sellers. Wide to Stapleton, they're surging forward and Reid going down the right-hand side. This is Ghana, there's wide open spaces, and Reid is onto the ball. And out it goes. What happened there? Surely, perhaps Reid should have got it a bit earlier. Well, there's this rashness, they're looking for a second goal, but you've got to admire them for it. Gale does well, heavily outnumbered. It's still Blackburn's ball with the throw in. No sign of May popping up now for the long one. I think they're just trying to keep possession. Duxbury trying this one. No real pressure on Nicol here. Well, might be though if they don't get it away quickly. And they have made a mess of it. Stapleton, Miller to Sellers, and just a little bit tired that ball. Rosenthal holding it up well. A really great cup tie here, plenty of headlines, and plenty more incidents to come, I'm quite sure, but it's Blackburn Rovers of the second division leading the joint FA Cup favourites Liverpool by 1-0. And down comes Stapleton. McMahon is the culprit. No cards this time. So on that clock, there's 15 minutes or so of the game left. It's a free kick. And the wind really getting very, very strong now. The forecast was that during the course of the game even, it would get stronger and stronger. It's difficult to tell from our comparatively sheltered position in the stand. Sellers has done well, good on the left foot. It needed two players to close it down. In for Rosenthal. Oh, and Atkins went through him almost. Or was it Duxbury, in fact. Burrows. Barnes. Now Houghton. Rosenthal. Barnes out there. And before it could get anywhere near Ian Rush, it's Atkins to knock it out. Former Scunthorpe player. Notches a couple of goals, but now the central defender, very important to Blackburn in these difficult conditions as the wind doesn't get hold of that one because Houghton didn't give it a chance to. Poorly taken kick, but it's still Liverpool. Blackburn pushing up beyond the edge of the area. Now Molby. Steve Nicol. Stapleton coming across to try and close him down. Nicol's bypassed him. It's a good cross and Gillespie's there. And Liverpool players hold their heads because that was a definite chance. He went for power instead of direction. If he'd have just been able to knock it down, that surely would have been there. And as we look at Gillespie's dejected figure, there's Scott Sellers, the man who came in from the cold, has been taken off, and on comes Shepstone to play on the left-hand side. He's a 20-year-old Paul Shepstone, midfield player, but Scott Sellers, now on the bench, has certainly played his part in what has been a memorable performance so far from Blackburn Rovers, but there's a long, long way to go yet before there's celebration time. Too strong for Barnes, but he deliberately came under it, took the defender under it, and Rosenthal knocks it wide. That is too strong. Well, it would be slightly inaccurate to say that Blackburn Rovers supporters are feverishly looking at their watches, because if they do, in this sort of a game, they might miss something. But there's 12 or 13 minutes left. It's 10 against 10, and it's 1-0 to Blackburn. Olby putting it forward. Rosenthal to Rush. Barnes has come over this side. Back to Molby. And offside against Ray Houghton. Well, Blackburn have played 26 players this season, 27 now that Scott Sellers has had 3/4 of a game, and they've had to reorganise their back line quite often. Sometimes they've played a sweeper, sometimes they've just changed individuals around during the game. They've done well to keep their discipline when it comes to the offside decisions. Gale, and there's a run on here by Duxbury, and the whistle on the field has gone anyhow. Despite a rather accurate kick from Nicky Reid. So this is a side, Blackburn Rovers, who are having problems playing at home in the last few weeks. They'd lost indeed their last 4 home games, and the young players were finding it difficult to concentrate. All sorts of noises coming from the crowd, but this is a very different story. But Rush is possibly on the way through here. Support from Nicol on the right-hand side. They're pouring into that penalty area, but it's by no means deep enough, and Shepstone covers and clears well. Is Nicol once more into Mulby. Burrows, well, there are many felt that when the draw was made, considering Blackburn's league form, that this would be tantamount to a walkover. It might be almost embarrassing here, but the magic of the cup and real courage by the Blackburn players has provided us a tremendous cup tie so far. Down for John Barnes. Rosenthal goes across. Rosenthal really must be regretting the couple of chances he had in the first half. He hasn't had anything like that in the second so far, and time is beginning to look a bit thin for them. Nicol to Houghton. Shepstone tigerishly keeping behind him. Nicol's ball. There's Mims to cut it out beautifully. Certainly looks the part for his nose crosses, but to be fair, it wasn't a particularly good one from Steve Nicol. Garner's on his own up there. He gets a header to it. Delays things for the moment at least. And now they put pressure on Mulder. Gillespie, Burrows wide on the left-hand side. That's a fine ball. Appeals for handball, not given. Rosenthal. Again, one of those balls come over with the wind blowing so strongly, it's difficult to judge exactly how they're going to drop for you. So control is a bit of a problem. And that's too strong, I think. Nothing to do with the wind alone. Well, over the years, Blackburn Rovers FA Cup history has really been of a different era. They've won it in 84, 85, 86, 90 and 91, but that, of course, is in the previous century. Liverpool are the stars of this century, but it's Blackburn coming alive at the start of this 91 competition, with young Paul Shepstone earning a round of applause as he burst his way through there. He didn't look strong enough to fight his way out of a paper bag, but he is. Rosenthal driven wide on the left with Barnes moving inside a little bit. Now Mulby. Burrows for Rosenthal. And Howard Gale has it. Offside, I'm afraid, against Garner, although Garner claims he was inside his own half when the pass was made. He might have been right. But the game is going to be held up again when the referee sees that Blackburn want to make another substitution. Lenny John Rose is coming on. And it's going to be, I think, Howard Gale going off. Gale, the former Liverpool player who used to wear very briefly the shirt of Kenny Dalglish when he had the opportunity. He only had 4 opportunities. Has played a very big part here. He's worked very hard down the right-hand side. But fresh legs and younger legs. Off goes Gale, who's 32. John Rose is 21. And rushes in there, but is beaten away by Atkins. John Rose is on the left-hand side. Garner is on his own up front. Reed is tackling hard. He doesn't get it off David Burrows. And Liverpool have about 6 minutes left to get it right. But there's going to be a yellow card, I think, for Reed for that challenge on David Burrows. Indeed it is. Well, 2 sendings off and a brace of yellow cards. It's Reed who goes into the book now. But on our clock, it's 6 minutes left, and Blackburn are holding on to this 1-0 lead as Atkins get a good header to it. Burrows chasing this one. Can he keep it in? Well, there's an infringement there, and certainly another opportunity for Liverpool to get an equaliser, or for Blackburn to keep them out. Mims is in there, and although it wasn't a totally good interception, with help from John Miller, away it goes. John Rose with his first touch, and it's a good one. Garner, safety play. Robillard, you can see how anxious he is. And what a turn-up this will be. Atkins puts a foot in, and does he stop it from going out, the goalkeeper? No, he doesn't. It's a corner again. Well, all the pressure now from Liverpool. 5 minutes left on our clock. 1-0 to Blackburn. Liverpool supporters to our right, willing this ball to be blown in as much as anything else. Barnes is up there, Gillespie on the edge of the goal area. A reasonable clearance. Your view of these things is better than ours. We're at the back of the stand, watching behind spectators, and a stanchion. And yet another corner. And again, Gillespie, Rosenthal, Nicol is in there too. And no surprise, and it's another corner. Can Blackburn hold out? Barnes on the near post, Gillespie wanting the longer one. And again, the ball isn't hit nearly deep enough. Into touch. Anything he'll do now for Blackburn, but 5 minutes is a long, long time against Liverpool, who always take it right to the wire. Chased by Shepstone to try and delay him a little bit. Now pursued by John Rose. John Rose chases again. John Rose coming across once more. And they've pinched it and push it forward to Garner, and he can get away. Shepstone tries to find him, but it was really too late. And Rosenthal is driven back. But the opportunity was there for Garner as he tried to stay onside, staying inside his own half. But they couldn't see it, they couldn't get the ball to him. And it's Liverpool back again. Nicol's long ball, Mims is out, he holds it well. Well, his second game for Blackburn, his home debut, something of a hero, certainly for his manager, Don Mackay, formerly a goalkeeper himself, of course. With distinction at Dundee United. But they didn't have cup ties like that north of the border, I'm sure. This is a really tremendous occasion for Blackburn if they can hold on. Barnes dribbling away from one challenge, holding it up well. Molby forward to McMahon, but Blackburn are battling to try and keep them out, but In goes Nicol, and it will be picked up by Rosenthal, and Houghton does well. Nicol again, it's a better cross, but away by May, and it's Houghton, and they can't get it through a packed defence. And nor can Blackburn get it away either. They just cannot hold possession long enough to give themselves a breather. Rush beaten by David May. Now Simon Garner, anywhere at the moment, and Molby batters into him. Robilar's come out of his goal. There's 2 minutes on our clock left. Shepstone. Shepstone's away. He's on his own. He's got Garner on the left. He's got Stapleton over the far side if he cares to cross it, but will they just keep possession and kill off time? Garner's done very well. Well, suddenly you see openings, but they're much easier from this position, despite the fact that we're right at the back of the stand. But very difficult for the players, because they must be very, very tired in very difficult conditions. John Rose can't get a foot to it cleanly, but it's out. It's less than a minute left on our clock. It's Blackburn struggling in the second division, leading the FA Cup favourites Liverpool by 1-0. Get it forward, says Steve McMahon. They can't get it forward accurately. Roars of delight from the Ewood supporters, and some of the Liverpool supporters, would you believe her, even leaving before the final whistle. Only once in 12 years has Liverpool been knocked out at the first hurdle. That was by Luton, and that was after a replay. But to go out in these circumstances would be a headline story around more than just Britain. Up goes Barnes, flicked on, going again. Rush, whacked away by John Rose. He's a forward, but he's back there in the defensive position. We have seconds left now. We're almost into time added on as Nicol gets the ball forward. It's Barnes breaking on the left-hand side. It's a good cross. It's too strong. And Gillespie picks it up. We're into time added on now, but we've had quite a couple of stoppages, particularly for the sendings off. So there'll be quite a bit there. Kenny Dalglish is out of his box, gesticulating wildly and anxiously. Blackburn Rovers hanging on to that 1-goal lead as we move into injury time. It's Nicol against Shepstone. Still in. Now it's Liverpool's throw. Referee checks his watch, but the game goes on. Houghton crosses, and it's in! It's an own goal! Is it Atkins? It's Atkins, who's put the ball into his own net. Gillespie did superbly to get the ball across, but Mark Atkins, in time added on, looks as if he's put the ball into his own net. Gillespie got up, and it was Atkins who ran it in. What a tragedy for Blackburn Rovers, and for Atkins, who's so ably stood in the centre of defence. Incredible. He was surprised when that ball came across and Gillespie didn't get a touch. So surprised that he put it into his own net, and the game is over. What an amazing cup tie. Mark Atkins puts the ball into his own net in injury time and has forced this game into a replay at Anfield next Tuesday, after Simon Garner had given Blackburn Rovers a brave lead at the beginning of the second half. Amazing stuff here with two players sent off. It could have been more really if the referee had interpreted the rules in exactly the same way. But what a tragedy for Mark Atkins when things looked so good for Blackburn Rovers, a side struggling in the second division. They'd fought bravely and skillfully. They looked to have the beating of the FA Cup joint favourites Liverpool, but now suddenly Liverpool have been offered a lifeline. A replay at Anfield on Tuesday.